What is up, you beautiful people? Welcome back to the Jordan Davis podcast. I am your host, Jordan Davis, and on today's episode, we be doing something different today because, to be honest, there's no movie news. Uh, so, actually, this is the perfect time to do a series I've been thinking about a little bit. Talking about movies. Uh, really starting a series called Movies I Think Are Awesome. And I've been really thinking about this because obviously I started my channel just wanting to talk about movies. Uh, I really, have a big passion for movies. I love all kinds of them. And obviously I got into like discussing other things and discussing other movie news, but I really want to, do, just really discussing movies about certain movies that are pretty awesome. And so that's what we're going to be doing today. I don't know if it's going to be a series. It's going to be all on you. Do you want this to be a series? Do you want me to talk about different movies? And and so that would be very interesting. It would be, like I said, all up to you, and you can comment down below what kind of movies you want me to talk about. So that would be interesting. So your voice can be heard. You would really make the decision where the channel would go. So yeah, that would be kind of fun to do actually. But yeah, and obviously from the reading of my shirt, I think you all know what movie I'm going to be talking about, and that's going to be Star Wars: The Last Jedi. And I'm going to tell you why I think The Last Jedi is so awesome. Now I understand that this movie is very divisive and this can give me a lot of views or of votes of approval for the video, but you know what? I like the movie anyway, so I'm going to talk about it. So, but before we get into that, if you're new to this channel, I talk about movies, I talk about Star Wars, DC, Marvel, bunch of blockbusters. I really just like talking about movies. That's pretty much it. I really love talking about movies, and that's what you're going to get here. I'm going to be talking about trailers, I'm going to be talking about, leading up to movies, anything that has to do with blockbusters, anything that has to do with movies, you're going to be hearing here on the Jordan Davis podcast. And I hope that you stick around, and so we can just, share our love for movies. So, if you plan on staying around, awesome. So, hit the subscribe button, like, comment, and hit the notification bell at the bottom so you know when my videos come out. So, yeah. So, now that we got that out of the way, let's dive deep into The Last Jedi. Now, I have to say, I saw this movie in theaters, and I saw it in Dolby Cinema, and pretty much the best kind of cinema you can see for a movie like The Last Jedi. And coming off of The Force Awakens, I was excited. It was like, okay, I understand what they had to do with The Force Awakens. They brought back old characters. They made us fall in love into the Star Wars movies again. Like bringing back Han Solo, Princess Leia, Chewie, R2-D2, all that fun stuff. And also introducing new characters like Rey, Kylo Ren at the time. And I thought the casting was superb. I thought the characters were written really well. And so it really set up The Last Jedi really good, where it could go anywhere. And knowing that Luke Skywalker was coming back, even though we got in like a split second, like a hot minute in The Force Awakens, but we knew we were getting a lot of Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi. And so that's another thing to get really excited about. So my hype was like really high because I like Luke Skywalker. I was I was a real fan of coming out of The Force Awakens with Kylo Ren. I want to see what they did with his character. I want to see what they do with Rey. What is her bloodline? What was there going to be her story? And so going into the theater, I was really didn't know what to expect because I never saw any of Rian Johnson's work. Never. I know that he directed like a couple of episodes of Breaking Bad, and everyone says it's a great. Those two episodes were great, and so I was like, okay. I never heard of this director before. I never seen his work. I'm like, okay, prove yourself to me that you're a good director. Prove yourself to me that you know Star Wars, and I can't wait to see what you have for me. And so going into that and saying this, Rian Johnson blew me away. He did a tremendous job directing the Star Wars movie, because I say this about The Last Jedi. It feels different, but it also feels like Star Wars. Like it had, because Star Wars movies kind of have a different kind of feel than any kind of other kind of movie, because you have to make it feel like Star Wars. It has to have that magic. It has to have that charm. It has to have the things that are so special and different from any other kind of movie. That is Star Wars, and I believe Rian Johnson did that a great way. And I thought how he wrote stuff was terrific. We jumped right into like there was no time jump at all. We jumped right into it, and if there's any kind of time jump, it's only like a day or two. And I think that's very interesting because Star Wars normally has like a 5-10 year jump into other movies. No, we go like right into it, like a day. We don't even get time to breathe, and I think that helps a lot for Kylo Ren's character, because he is coming off right of killing his father and being defeated by a girl who has never held a lightsaber in her life. And that is kind of heavy. And right when we see him, he is going to Snoke, and he is mentally not stable right now because he just killed his father, and he just lost a lightsaber battle to a girl that never held, a lightsaber before. But I'll say this: it's believable because one, he was injured, he was losing a lot of blood, and so even though he was losing a lot of blood, he almost took out 2 people at once. So, if it wasn't for that shot in his side, it would be no contest, to be perfectly honest with you. And I like it how they Rian Johnson shows just how great of a lightsaber, duelist or fighter Kylo Ren is when he's not injured and he has blood pouring out of him. I like he took like most of the guards in the throne room, and oh, believe me, I'm gonna get to that throne room. That's pretty much the reason majority The Last Jedi is so awesome. But yeah, I just think really going into Kylo Ren, really seeing his psyche, what he is dealing with when he goes in that Snoke's throne room to really talk to him, and you really see the dynamic between them, and how something is going to change between them. something is going to happen in this movie that really shifts the narrative. And especially with that first scene, I love when he says, until the Skywalkers are killed, there is hope in the galaxy. And he rises up right when Snoke says hope. Come on, now come on, that's great camera work and great direction. And so that's awesome to see. I really like that. And really, he began to really dive deep into the Rey and Kylo Ren relationship that we now call Reylo. And I did not think they would go so hard at it. I think they would, test the waters with it, but Rian Johnson went hard and deep, and and I did not expect that, to be perfectly honest with you. And I'm happy that he did, because their dynamic, their relationship, is the best part in the sequel trilogy, and it really opened people's eyes in The Last Jedi, and it really made it a great movie. It made it an awesome movie. And through their relationship throughout the whole movie really was the bright spot. And I would say their relationship and the throne room, for me, is the reason why this movie is so awesome. And yes, you can, obviously, when you watch it again and again and again, there's so many things that you notice of this movie that just keep getting better and better and better. It's kind of like when you just rewatch it, it's just more things open your eyes to, and it's so good. And so that's why I think a movie like that is so awesome. If a movie can do that after you rewatch it again and again and again, it becomes better. That's how you know a movie is awesome. And so, yeah, and so let's just get into the throne room. I just thought how it's all set up, the elevator scene, the tension. I would say the elevator scene is pretty much, I can't remember a sexual tension, maybe with Han and Leia, in the Falcon, maybe this was Rey in Kylo Ren's Falcon moment of sexual tension, but that elevator, when they're talking to each other about how they can, tempting each other come to their side, it was like a lightsaber fight, but with feelings, and without lightsabers. It's like their words was their, lightsaber fight. And I thought that was really cool to do. And I just thought Adam Driver and Daisy Ridley, their chemistry is on fire. It's just, it's, hot on fire. And I just thought that the start of that, then going into the throne room scene, that's gonna be cool too. And so really, it kind of felt to me like the Return of the Jedi throne room scene. It was like, okay, I mean, we're only like an hour and a half in. Surely this isn't the end of the movie, because that's very weird for the throne room scene to meet Snoke, for Rey to meet her this early, because she has no connection to Snoke. It's all Kylo Ren. I'm like, okay, is Kylo Ren the protagonist now? Are we getting in this movie early? What's going on here? Is he going to turn to the light side? I mean, what the heck is going on? And you saw like he was torturing her, and to me, you saw the difference between Snoke torturing her and and Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren never tortured her. He did his job. His job was to get information. He did it as soft and gently as he could. I always say that he never hurt her, and it was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna warn you what I'm gonna do. Don't hold it. It would be much easier if you just give me the information. But Snoke, it was like he had fun torturing her. And we saw that in the throne room scene. And we saw Kylo Ren get mad. Right? He got mad. Really mad. And it was like Snoke torturing, right? And Snoke saying, I bridge your minds together. It was like, oh, you did that? Because he thought that was very special. It was like the one thing I thought was special. It was untainted. Snoke tainted. And it was like, dude, that's it. You're going to be dropped like a sack of potatoes. And he was dropped like a sack of potatoes. Now, I think the only thing I wish, I think this is going back, I wish they never really showed the lightsaber. I think it would build up the tension even more, and even more of a shocking turn that the lightsaber was not shown, and just at the drop of a dime, he's dead. Then after we see the lightsaber ignite, then you cut back to Snoke. And I think that would be just like mind blowing. It would be like, oh my gosh, did that just happen? You know what I'm saying? And then we hit into the throne room scene, because that fight really represents how smooth and balanced light and dark side can be when they're working together. Really. And it was so cool because we saw Kylo Ren really was a monster. He was just fighting people left and right. He was destroying them. You know, he was fierce. And also Rey was very fierce. She was like a roaring lion and going into battle. And I love that. And so, yeah. I just thought, like, the way how Kylo Ren looked at Rey was like, sweetheart, we ain't out of the woods yet. We still got some work to do. And so, really, that whole fight was like it was like their honeymoon. And obviously, you know, after everything, you know, settled down, then we got the proposal. Because once I saw the proposal, oh, okay, we're doing Pride and Prejudice here, huh? And he's Darcy, right? Okay, I see what you're doing, Rian Johnson. I see what you're doing. It happened just like that. And if you really think of it, this whole sequel trilogy is Pride and Prejudice. Well, at least their relationship is, and I think it just fits. It just fits how you make it different, but also make it Star Wars. And also, if you're doing the female gaze, I think that's perfect to do like a Star Wars and Pride and Prejudice. I think that's great to do. And so I think that made it even more awesomer. And so I think for my love of The Last Jedi really opened my eyes to the female gaze. And after seeing The Last Jedi, I've watched like different people on YouTube, like Girls with Sabers, What's the Force, all other kind of Star Wars YouTube kind of Star Wars channels talk about the Fenneman gaze, and it really opened my mind to it, and I thought I thought it makes sense to have that in Star Wars, and I thought it made it a really great movie, and like I said, opened my eyes to that kind of fandom, opened my eyes for that kind of storytelling, and I love it. I think that's awesome. I really began to enjoy the Fenneman gaze of storytelling. I didn't think I would, but written correctly, like Rian Johnson did, it can be really, really good. And so, yeah, I thought that is another thing that made this movie really awesome. And if this was not part of any kind of universe, or this wasn't going to be episode 9, I really believe this could stand on its own. I believe this movie, from Kylo Ren's point of view, this is a movie where you can tell power is great, but it's not the same to love. Because he chose power, but he wanted love. You can't have two. You can't eat your cake and have frosting on it, or something like that. He chose power, but at the end, he sacrificed the one person that he loves. And it's a great story of choose love over power, because power will not give you anything that you want. It will keep it. Yeah, it's good for a moment, but after you stay along with it, it would just make you empty inside. And the love and that person that gives you that full feeling of love, that's what you want. And in my opinion, I think that's a great story to tell in a Star Wars universe. And so, yeah, I really, that what makes it awesome. Because, yeah, we have the Luke Skywalker sacrifice. I thought his story arc was great in this movie. I know not many people like Luke Skywalker's arc in The Last Jedi. I do. I like it a lot. And it really, he has a good arc. He has a good redemption arc in this. And until this day, it's still my favorite Star Wars movie. I don't know if that's going to change. Heck, Episode 10 might come out, and that might be the perfect Star Wars movie for me. Or, they might make a Knights of the Old Republic and and do that, and that might be my favorite Star Wars movie. But until right now, at this very moment, Star Wars The Last Jedi, to me, is the most awesomest, I don't know if that's a word, the most awesomest Star Wars movie, in my opinion. So, from the storytelling, from the relationships, from the character development, I thought this movie deserves the stamp of approval of being awesome. So, yeah, that's why I think The Last Jedi, Star Wars, The Last Jedi, is awesome. So, what do you guys think? What do you think of The Last Jedi? And if you like it, what makes this movie so awesome to you? What are the things? What are the things when you think about The Last Jedi make it so awesome to you? So I would love to know. Talk about it in the comments with you. And so, yeah, it'd be great to talk about. So, yeah, this would be the end of the podcast and the video. I want to thank you all who watched this video. And make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and notify the bell at the bottom so you know when the videos and future videos come out. So, until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.